Hello little jelly beans. Tonight's book is another little special book that my children love, and it's called Uno's Garden. It's a bit of a bigger book, so it might be a bit wibbly wobbly, but then I'll put the pictures and hold them straight for you. After the book might wibble wobble a bit, okay? You'll still be able to see the pictures. Uno's Garden. Uno arrived in the forest on a beautiful day at the very beginning of spring. There to welcome him were 10 magnificent moopalopes and one completely ordinary snorkelpig. Uno loved the forest so much, he decided to live there. 10 moopaloops. 10 times 10 equals 100 plants, 0 buildings, and 1 snorkelpig. Can you see the snorkelpig? This is the snorkelpig. Now you have a look at how these pictures might change through the story. And also have a little look for the little snorkelpig. And this is Uno. Uno climbed above the treetops. The forest seemed to go on forever. Swinging through the branches were 9 leapy lumpy bums and the completely ordinary snorkelpig. 9 lumpy bums. 9 times 9 equals 81 plants, 1 building, and 1 snorkelpig. Can you see the snorkelpig? Sorry guys, a bit wibbly wobbly. Others followed Uno. They loved the forest too. They built houses and boats, watched by 8 feathered frinklepods, and the snorkelpig, of course. Uno began work on a little garden. 8 frinklepods. 8 times 8 equals 64 plants. 1 plus 1 equals 2 buildings, and 1 snorkelpig. Can you see the snorkelpig? The fishermen's children played games amongst the trees. They counted 7 playful puddlebutts, plus 1 snorkelpig. A little village grew. 7 puddlebutts. 7 times 7 equals 49 plants. 2 plus 2 equals 4 buildings, and 1 snorkelpig. Can you see the snorkelpig? Some hunters went into the forest looking for sneaky snugglebites. There were 6, but the hunters didn't catch them, or the snorkelpig. 6 snugglebites. 6 times 6 equals 36 plants. 4 plus 4 equals 8 buildings, and 1 snorkelpig. Tourists came. They saw 5 timid tumbletops, but that was all. Uno kept working in his garden. The village became a town. 5 tumbletops. 5 times 5 equals 25 plants. 8 plus 8 equals 16 buildings, and 1 snorkelpig. Then the railway was built. Excited passengers watched for wild animals. They caught a glimpse of 4 grazing gondolopes. And what was that other funny-looking creature back there? You know what it is. 4 gondolopes. 4 times 4 equals 16 plants. 16 plus 16 equals 32 buildings. And 1 snorkel pig. Can you see what's happening to the buildings? And what's happening to the plants? The buildings are getting more, aren't they? And the plants are getting less. The town had become a city. A team of scientists arrived to study the animals. 3 flipper flaps was all they found. 3 flipper flaps. 3 times 3 equals 9 plants. 32 plus 32 equals 64 buildings. And 1 snorkel pig. Can you see the snorkel pig? The city grew bigger and bigger, and the forest grew smaller and smaller. Some workers came across 2 pointy pricklebacks. They had never seen anything like them. 2 pricklebacks. 2 times 2 equals 4 plants. 64 plus 64 equals 128 buildings. And 1 snorkel pig. A lone fisherman set his line in the river. He caught a car tire, several old boots, and a cold. He didn't see the snorkel pig. In fact, nobody had seen one for so long, people weren't even sure they existed. 1 snorkel pig. 1 times 1 equals 1 plant. 128 plus 128 equals 256 buildings. One grey morning, the people of the city woke up, looked out over the endless buildings, and were sad. Why do we live in a place like this? They asked themselves. There are no trees. So they left. 0 animals. 0 times 0 equals 0 plants. 256 plus 256 equals 512 buildings. The city was dark and abandoned. Uno opened his door and looked out. Sitting there in the garden, amongst the plants that Uno had saved, was a snorkel pig, completely ordinary in every way, except that it was there. The snorkel pig lived in Uno's garden for many years. The city crumbled, forgotten. The snorkel pig grew old and died. So did Uno, but the garden lived on. 1 snorkel pig, 1 leafy tree, 1 old shack. Uno's children continued to care for the little collection of trees and plants, and slowly the forest returned. The children kept a diary of their discoveries. 2 pointy pricklebacks, 2 pricklebacks, 2 feathered ferns, and 2 wiggaloos. But no snorkel pig. 3 flipper flaps, 3 wiggleweeds, 3 log cabins. But no snorkel pig. 4 grazing gondolopes, 4 bobble grasses, 4 mountaintop lookouts, but no snorkel pig. 5 timid tumbletops, 5 smushy mushies, 5 Gothic mansions, but no Snortle Pig. Over the years, Uno's grandchildren added to the list 6 sneaky Snagglebites, 6 shady blades, 6 mushrooms, but no Snortle Pig. 7 playful puddlebutts, 7 whiny vines, 7 enviro habitation pods, but no Snortle Pig. What's happening to the plants, the people, and the buildings? Their grandchildren added to the list too. 8 feathered frinkle pods, 8 truffautfleets, 8 houseboats, but no Snortle Pig. 9 leaping lumpy bums, 9 saucer weeds, 9 wigwams, but no Snortle Pig. Ten magnificent moopaloops, and on a beautiful day at the very beginning of spring. 10 moopaloops, 10 sunny cups, 10 castles, but no Snortle Pig. I'm going to show you on 2 sides. The forest and the city found themselves in perfect balance. Wow. 10 times 10 equals 100 animals. 10 times 10 equals 100 plants. 10 times 10 equals 100 homes. And if you look really close, you might see something familiar. Stories were told of the days when an extraordinary creature had lived in Uno's garden. The children listened with wide eyes, and they never stopped believing that one day they would see a real, live Snortle Pig for themselves. Look very closely. Can you see anything? That was Uno's garden. That's one of my children's favourite books, and I hope that you little jelly beans really enjoyed it too. When we look after things, they look after us. Sweet dreams, little jelly beans. It's time to snuggle down. Close those eyes and dream of wonderful things. Good night.